The added
Thank
pressure.
you, gentlemen. First leg is Craig to throw first. Game on.
Of living up to what is a very celebrated name in this part of the world.
140.
Galliano is hailed from the Rock. Fashionistas out there will be well aware of John Galliano's illustrious career as well.
I think you were slightly flabbergasted by the fact that I brought that up earlier. John Galliano, the former head of design at Givenchy, born in Gibraltar.
Born in Gibraltar. We're trying to ascertain if there's any family relationship, but we're not. It is quite a common name, I believe, anyway. But it is a revered name in this part of the world, maybe.
I wouldn't be shocked
82.
if he was related. It's a small world we live in, but there's something I really want to mention at this juncture, the very early juncture of this match. We have a Mervyn King shirt
44.
that is quite spectacular. And you might just think, it's just a dart shirt, he's got his nickname on. That person on the back of that shirt is very, very important to Mervyn. That is a picture of a certain person in a crown. It is his dad. His late father, who died quite a few years ago now, but I'm sure Mervyn will confirm that he misses him every single day. It's a lovely tribute to his dad, having him on the back of his shirt. I adore it.
Yes, good idea. It's a nice gesture, and yeah, touch of class that from Merv, to be honest.
56.
Talked to Dan Dawson a little bit earlier about the conditions here in Gibraltar, how it's quite humid, the air's quite thick. Don't be surprised if there are some equipment changes from Merv on the fly here in the early portions of this match, just to figure out what weight of a dart, what size of point he needs to acclimatise to this air quality. He, like Peter Wright, is very much in tune with what he needs in different air conditions. He was, of course, the first person to get a 9-darter in the Southern Hemisphere. Double 10. He's got it right, all right. And that is a first leg break of throw for Mervyn.
Throw first.
One of the most seasoned players that we have left here in the PDC from the older guard. I don't say old, just older.
Well, 50 is the new 30 in darts, really, to be honest, you know. But, you know, I don't think Galliano was in any doubt about the size of the task facing him today. If he was, he certainly is now. Because that was a classy way to start things off from Mervyn King with that 1-2-8 checkout.
You can't buy experience, though. At his age of 19,
Yeah,
getting the exposure of playing Mervyn King, a former world master, before the age of 20, and just ascertaining, how good can I be at this time of my life? How much do I want this?
Don't know whether that was directed at the crowd or whether it was directed at Galliano. I think he just asked for a bit of quiet.
41.
I think it may have been Galliano who, in his defence, isn't used to this sort of occasion. He may just have been making a bit too much. He was rubbing his darts at the time, so maybe there was just a bit of a distraction for Merv with maybe touching the barrels.
I've played in these quiet atmospheres in Gibraltar.
135.
Trust me, it's really quiet. You will hear everything.
100.
I distinctly remember playing Joe Cullen at Victoria Stadium, and I was getting a bit irate like I used to. You move 1 inch in a chair out there, it will be heard. You've almost got to hold your breath until someone's walking to retrieve darts.
Just noticed Galliano just blowing into his hands there. John Henderson was doing that in the previous match as well, so maybe the air conditioning's just been turned up a little bit too much. It has got much warmer. It was a very overcast start to the day here, but it's sunshine all the way now, I think.
Well, we hope so. Mervyn King has only got one European Tour victory in his career. He's had plenty of other opportunities. Been in other finals.
Yeah, did go close, didn't he? And well, he won one, as you say, and then reached the final of the German Darts Masters in single figure, and the final of the Dutch Darts Masters as well. Semi-finalist last year in Hildesheim. Never been beyond the quarterfinals here, though. In Gib.
Didn't want to go for 12 and tops.
92.
He wanted to go for single 20, double 16, but the first dart was so upright, obscuring that single 20. 17 for double top will give Craig Galliano a level score.
43.
Would have been a break back as well, but that first start, just another indication
20.
perhaps that he's just, well, struggling to settle in this one, as you might expect, but he's all smiles. He looks relaxed enough, but I'm sure deep down inside his stomach is turning
The
cartwheels.
leg is Craig to throw first. Game on.
Two legs, two incredible double tens, it has to be said. Because Merv,
96.
if he ever has had the tiniest little weakness, it has been that double 10. But not today.
Far from it. Well, as you mentioned, Paul, at the start of this match, Galliano does have that big game, big match mentality. He also plays football.
100.
He was in the Gibraltar squad for the recent Under-21 European Championship qualifiers against Switzerland. And he plays for the champions of Gibraltar, the Lincoln Red Imps as well, who are this season in the Europa Conference League. The first ever team from Gibraltar to make it into European competition.
Isn't that amazing? You talk about former sports people
100.
in other vocations coming into darts. He's 19 and he's at the peak of what he can do in Gibraltar football. And he's playing in a world-class darts tournament as well at the same time.
At the same time.
He's greedy.
No, he's talented. Keeping his options open, it seems, as well. I'm pretty sure he's got a day job as well. I'm just harking back to something I read a few days ago, but
Has he got more hours in the day than we have?
it seems that way.
140.
At one point, he's going to have to pick.
Yeah, of course. But it's a nice position to be in. That 140 gets him down to 164. He's on throw, so he can't really afford to suffer another break, although he is in danger of going that way because King's just made his move again.
46. Revenue require 101.
Well, if he gets to 60 this time, it will be a single 9 for double 16. Oh, went for the 25 first. That leaves 85. I'm flabbergasted that he went for 25 first.
Craig, you got 118.
60-18 tops is tradish.
90.
Second time on tops he delivers
Revenue require
short.
52.
And he knows it as well. He knows he's going to have to take these chances because he's fully aware that Mervyn King can just step in, hoover up double 16 this time. And that's the difference, isn't it, really?
Well, the big thing in this game, which we've talked about so much this afternoon, is that people who were not in Budapest for the Hungarian Darts Trophy have added pressure, and one of those players is indeed Mervyn King.
Yeah, didn't go there, so has to make up ground here. Winner of this to face Brendan Dolan, the number 14 seed in the second round tomorrow. King and Dolan know each other inside out. I think that's the sort of match that Mervyn King might welcome in a way.
60.
Better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And
Yeah.
right now, Mervyn knows nothing about this lad.
What he does know is how to finish the job, and he's done that very well so far as Mervyn King. 3 doubles from 4 attempts.
140.
And yeah, it's enough. It's all he has to do, really. It was never likely that he was going to be extended in this one. It was all about, you know, Galliano maybe. And I hope he does, you know, get something on the scoreboard. Just picking up the experience as well. I think tonight with the, I mean, we've lost one Gibraltar player already in the shape of
83.
Justin Broughton, but we've got Dyson Parodi tonight against Kenny Nyans. That's winnable for him. And Justin Hewitt, who I think is the pick of the bunch against Callan Ridge.
140.
Will be one to watch, I think.
Yeah,
I think Ridge will win, but I think it'll be close.
I'm very, very glad that I'm not commentating on the Parodi Nayans game because I know what they're like. That one's quite feisty.
120.
I get the feeling the atmosphere tonight for that one's going to be quite electrified.
Yeah, if there's a few more in the house as well.
56.
I mean, he doesn't need any
58.
encouragement to get the crowd going, does he, Dyson?
No.
And that time he played MVG in the quarterfinals a few years ago was astonishing. Tops here for King for 4-0.
Yeah, shot the fourth leg. Mervyn King.
It's turning into a little bit of a procession now for the King.
Game on.
He's not putting on a huge show here, Merv. Averaging 92.5. He's doing what is necessary. 80% on doubles in this match so far. That is the stat. But you can see the average is a good 10 ahead. He's not really punishing Galliano in the first 9. But he's not having to.
No. I mean, if he was racing out of the blocks, I think it would be more emphatic because
140.
his finishing has been good. So if he's getting into those positions earlier and sooner and quicker, then it might be a little bit more demoralising for Galliano. I think he's going to take some encouragement from this. It's difficult to know exactly what, but
128.
Telly likes to get to the ocky fairly quickly. He is millimetres away from that exclusion zone when he's approaching.
58.
I was just going to say, actually, maybe he could just do with just reining it in a bit and just slowing down a fraction as well, but especially when he's had opportunities at double.
128.
Well, the effort there from Mervyn was the 25 to leave 170. And you see the side on. It's a very raw style he has. I tell you what, though,
60.
it's something to work with.
Yeah.
That back leg tends to rise a bit, means he leans forward just a touch.
And presumably off balance as well. Maybe.
Correct.
97.
He does deliver the dart quite late. There's not a great deal of backlift here. As you can see with the right arm coming back, there's only about half an inch before he thrusts the dart forward.
I was just going to say, you noticed that back leg going up, and then that in turn, his front leg goes forward, and it does seem to knock him forward off his balance a little bit.
215s, 5-0.
Game for the fifth
So
leg,
well measured.
Mervyn King.
That was not an easy shot
Leg
for
is
someone who
Mervyn to
throws
throw
from the
first.
middle of the ocky.
Game on.
But just remember that Mervyn King throws from the left-hand side, so he will have seen plenty of that. 15 darter, 19, 17, 14, 15. It's consistent without being spectacular. It is, in fact, before those
66.
darts were delivered, exactly 16 darts a leg on average.
Yeah.
43.
Mervyn's been around so long now. He's actually approaching the 30-year mark. It was 1995 when he won
140.
the Gold Cup pairs with Peter Wright. It's one of the greatest darts photos out there.
Yeah.
Them clutching that huge trophy.
60.
But that was 26 years ago. Even better.
And Galliano was -7 years old.
Exactly. Even better, the photo I've got from Mervyn's television debut,
95.
where he was wearing a leather waistcoat. Oh, what a strong look that was.
94.
He is a bit of a biker, is our Merv.
He is.
And he proved it by wearing a leather waistcoat a la Hell's Angels on his debut.
Right out of camera shot there, Mervyn King, as he moved all the way over to that right-hand side of the ocky.
100.
Grimace from the King as he registers another ton to get himself down to a ton. Galliano on 304. May well be that it does end with a
45.
whitewash in the final match of the session.
100.
And Mervyn King might finish things off with a ton checkout to boot as well for a 6-0 win. As he so often does. He switches to the 16s.
And the match.
Not many players can do that as well as Mervyn King, but as you said, Paul, he's a seasoned artist in many facets of the game, and Mervyn King has just, well, delivered something of a lesson there to young Craig Galliano.